The local government autonomy has been granted, right?
Yes.
Monies are coming in.
Yes.
But what is the money being used for? All right?
Yes.
So it means that there are plenty of opportunities that have been granted to the local government that is there. But how many of us know how to access it, how to engage? How many of us know our councillors? One of the ways young people can do that is actually for young people to actually come out and demonstrate.
Yes.
You need to showcase that you have the capacity, you have the character, and you have the competence to be given an opportunity.
Yes.
Nobody will come to your house to come and give you what you want, right?
Yes.
So you need to come out, you need to participate. It is those people that are in the corridors of power, in the corridors of conversation, that can be given opportunity. If you are not in the room when the conversation is going on, just know that you are on the menu. Local government is a local government for me that is in place.
Welcome to today's episode of the Fourth Schedule podcast. This is a platform where we host seasoned professionals and stakeholders as guests to discuss issues and foster actions on local governments of Nigeria with focus on the area councils of the FCT. The podcast is an initiative of Statecraft Foundation and supported by the Nigeria Youth Future Fund. Feel free to follow Statecraft Foundation on social media platforms to keep tabs with the podcast and other activities of the project and the organization. Local governance shapes the spaces we live in, the services we rely on, and the opportunities available in our communities. Yet, for many residents, especially young people, meaningful participation in these processes still feels out of reach. We would be exploring what makes participation truly impactful and how young people can move from having a voice to having a real influence. This episode focuses on effective ways residents, especially young people, can participate in governance processes. And we have our guests in the studio in person of Mr. Godiya Haruna, who is the Programs and Policy Coordinator of LEAP Africa. Nice to meet you, Godiya.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel.
As you already know, my name is Emmanuel Obiabo, and I am your host. So, going into the questions for the day, Mr. Godiya, I'm so grateful to have you with us in the studio today. Why do residents feel disconnected from local governance, even though it affects their daily lives the most?
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. I think I will begin by saying that people feel disconnected because the purpose of local governance and participation is not understood. When the purpose of something is not known, abuse becomes inevitable.
Yes.
So what do we see? What do citizens see as a local government? Some people see local government as just a place to go and get a document for my state of origin.
Marriage certificate. And anything that would just maybe benefit them in just the shortest time possible. But local government is actually a platform. It's a space that gives opportunity for grassroots development, for touch base, for engagement, for conversations to be local, right? So citizens are disconnected. For some that feel disconnected is because they are yet to understand what the local government offers. If you ask many Nigerians now, they don't even understand what exactly do I need to go to local government for, apart from these few things we've mentioned. Or even the functions of the local government.
At LEAP Africa, last year, we did a research after one of our programs called the Development Dialogues. And one of the articles we produced is called the 1 trillion naira question. Why your local government can't fix your road. And it tried to interrogate those things, those issues. For instance, the local government autonomy has been granted, right?
Yes.
Monies are coming in.
Yes.
But what is the money being used for? All right?
Yeah.
So it means that there are plenty of opportunities that have been granted to the local government that is there. But how many of us know how to access it, how to engage? How many of us know our councillors? How many of us know our chairman? Okay, if you don't even know your chairman personally, at least if you belong to community groups, you should be able to meet with your chairperson. So citizens are disconnected because of some of them don't understand what the local government offers, the purpose of local government, and they don't know how to engage. So those are some of the things that make citizens to be disconnected, even though the local government affects you, whether you know it or not.
You made a very good point. You talked about not understanding the functions
Of the local government.
not even knowing how to go about engaging. They only understand a limited thing. Okay, I want to get my birth certificate. I want to get marriage certificate and all that. And it's quite profound to know that in one of the similar research we conducted, we asked what issues, what functions can the local government or what issues in your community that local government can fix. And then people were asking things amiss. Some people were saying they want the local government to fix network masts for them, right, like MTN and all that. And we couldn't tell them that at that point that this is not the function. For research purpose, we had to take all those responses and collate them. But it was just so obvious, and you have just emphasized that point. Now, so what is the most effective way residents, especially young people, can participate or influence decisions right now beyond voting at the local government level?
Okay, so voting is secondary, but participation and getting involved is primary. Why do I say so? Every citizen of Nigeria, you belong to a village, you belong to a ward, you belong to a community, you belong to a local government, and then we'll talk about states and maybe geopolitical region, as the case may be.
Country, yes.
Now, as a citizen of Nigeria, for you to engage the system, you have to engage at the grassroots level. And when we talk about grassroots, we're talking about your local balance. For instance, myself, I am from Bauchi State. And currently, my voter's card is registered in my ward. And if time for election comes, I need to go back home to vote.
Do you?
Yes, I started voting in 2023.
Okay.
That's going back to my village.
Is it not so inconveniencing to?
It is very inconvenient, but because I have a stake there, and I have to go back to contribute fully to what is happening there. So for citizens to actually engage in the government, or voting is secondary.
Yes.
The primary thing is that you are even part of the process at the local government level. There are town hall meetings. How many of us attend town hall meetings? There are stakeholders engagement. There are community hearings that happen at the community level. There are courtesy visits that is done to traditional rulers, religious leaders, and the likes in the community. How many of us actually participate in it?
But some of the residents complain that they are not even aware, and in most cases they don't even know that town hall meetings happen. And in some other cases, the town hall meetings don't happen. Even in the budgetary process where you have the public hearing, they are not either aware or it doesn't happen. And so I know that in an ideal situation, this should happen.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity for people to participate or engage. But in the absence of it, and in the current reality that we have, how can young people influence that?
So there's no excuse for anything. You just need to find a way to actually lead. So in our different communities, using Abuja as an instance, we have 6 area councils. And in those area councils, we have different tribes, different languages. And because of the nature of Abuja, Abuja is cosmopolitan, where you have different people from different states all gathered here. Now, the truth is, sometimes some of these conversations can happen in silos, and you might not get to know. But if you are intentional and you are deliberate about what you want to engage in, you actually get away. In the community you live in, there are religious leaders. In the community you live in, there are traditional rulers. At a personal level, you can decide to engage so that you can be able to even know what is going on.
Okay.
For instance, if you say you want to visit the chief in your particular community that you belong to, nobody can stop you.
Yes.
If you go to the palace, you definitely see one person or 2 persons or 3 persons that will attend to you.
Yes.
So, yes, you know that you cannot easily see them sometimes, But there are individuals that you can actually see at a particular given point in time to be able to help you so that you can fully participate in what is going on in the community. Those things are not usually open because of the nature of the environment we find ourselves. But if you are deliberate about it, and as a young person, if you really want to do it, you can do it. Also, when you go for your registration, maybe, for instance, these different parties are doing their registration.
Yes.
When you go for those registration, you will meet party members, and party members cut across different ethnic groups. You make friends. You ask people, what's going on? How have you guys been having meeting? What is going on? I want to be part of this. I want to be part of that. And before you know it, you'll be invited to come to those meetings and for you to be there. But unfortunately for young people, some just want to register for election and then use the voter's card maybe for other identification purposes and not really what they want to do. So I would say that engage the system, be part of the process. Now registration is going on for people to register in parties.
Yes.
Be part of it. The party you believe in, go and register. There are young people in those parties. Engage them, and it's across ethnic lines, across religious lines. Ask them questions. I want to be part of this thing, and you will see yourself being part of it.
So I like how you encourage people to register in political parties in addition to participating in the local governance level. At the moment, we'll be taking a short break and we'll be back. When we return, we shall continue on the conversation on effective ways young people and residents in general can participate in the local governance processes. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We have been discussing on effective ways residents, especially young people, can participate in local governance processes. And with me still in the studio is Mr. Godiya Haruna, Programs and Policy Coordinator of LEAP Africa. Before the break, you spoke about a number of ways that people, residents of local governments, can participate in the local governance process. So I want to ask, what needs to change in the local governance spaces for young voices to be taken seriously and not seen as just numbers? What needs to change? What do you recommend?
All right, thank you so much. I think one needs to change. There is a government side of things, and there is also the citizen side of things. The current configuration of the local government in Nigeria has its pros and cons, has its advantages and disadvantages. Why I said advantages is that the idea of the local government in the first place is to bring governance to the grassroots, right? And we already have local governments scattered across Nigeria, over 774 local governments.
And some area, is it local council development areas that have not been captured?
That have not been captured. For instance, in Lagos, the local government development centers, LDCs, or what they call them. So with 774 local governments across Nigeria, and then particularly in Abuja, where we have 6 area councils, I think what we need to do so that young people will not just be numbers is, from the government side of things, there should be a new form of approach. As governance at the grassroots level is not an opportunity to misuse, disuse, or abuse power. That's from the government side of things. When you're given a mandate for you to be a local government chair, be a councillor, or be a leader in the community level, you should be accountable, you should be transparent, and be able to carry out your job. Your job, as statutory by the Constitution, is clearly stated. Things around primary education, sanitation, public health, and all those little things that government needs to do, and also maintenance of road. It's part of the things that local government are supposed to be doing. So at the government side of things, you need to be able to provide those infrastructure, those tangible and intangible infrastructures that will make life better for the young people. Because when when the local government is thriving in those aspects, the young people also, you will see them thriving. Because when you fix primary school, you get youths that are educated in your community
that can effectively participate.
Of course, when you manage the road in your community, what happens is that the farmers can be able to carry their crops and be able to make a living for themselves, thereby growing. Then in the side of the citizens, One of the ways young people can do that is actually for young people to actually come out and demonstrate.
Yes.
You need to showcase that you have the capacity, you have the character, and you have the competence to be given an opportunity.
Yes.
Nobody will come to your house to come and give you what you want, right?
Yes.
So you need to come out, you need to participate. It is those people that are in the corridors of power, in the corridors of conversation, that can be given opportunity. So young people, we have the numbers, we have the capacity. Can we build that confidence to be part of the process so that when the people that are there need something, we are there to say yes with our voices. We can be able to make a mark and say this is what we want. Articulate clearly what we want because we are in the table, we are in the seat of the table. And I'll end with this: young people, if you are not there when the conversation, if you are not in the room when the conversation is going on, just know that you are on the menu being devoured.
I also believe, inclusion and participation. Participation means you on the part of the young people, on the part of residents. Inclusion is on the part of the government.
Yes.
I also believe, to emphasize on your point, the government, the local government leaders need to be deliberate about including residents in their processes. On one of the episodes we had recently, the guest mentioned that most of the local governments actually just take out time, go out of the state, do like the beginning and to the end of the budget process, and then come back. And I believe it is true because we have gone through the budgets of the area councils or the local government. You see that the figures are not empirical. So you just see lump sums. You just see road, 300 million. It's not really empirical. I'm not saying they should put 0.29 kobo, so to make it empirical. But you just go through, you just see that it's something that is not backed up by data. It's just something that let's just share this. Maybe someone say, okay, increase this to 50 by 50,000. Okay, add 10 and all that. I believe with that needs to also change. I want to ask, if a resident wants to start participating in local government process today, what are the rudimentary steps or action that you recommend they take?
You want to participate, young people?
Yes, for people who are listening to us or to us right now, and they want to start today, this moment, what rudimentary steps should they take?
All right, so what I would just say is that participation is at a different level. You can decide that you want to actively participate to vote, or you want to participate to actually run for an office. But first of all, it's for you to even be participating in terms of you are a contributor in your community.
By contributor, you mean?
By contributor, I mean that if there is a challenge in your community, you should be at the forefront of galvanizing, bringing together people to actually solve a problem in your community. For instance, if there is an issue of waste management that has not been properly handled, you have a responsibility to actually call the attention of the necessary persons for them to actually look at it, and if possible, take those conversations higher so that it can be solved. But in terms of governance, you want to participate. One of the rudimentary stage is for me, I would say, first of all, register with a political party. Because at the political party, that's where ideology is being built. Whether you like it or not, political parties have ideology, they have manifesto that they want to present, even though they don't end up implementing it, but they have a plan. How can you be part of the change when you are not part of the people that even supported in developing the plan? So if you want to participate, go to your ward. That's why I said we belong to a village. Ask questions. If you are not staying in your village, ask where is our ward. Yes. They will take you to your ward, and then there is an office where you can register for you to be a party of a particular political party. It can be APC, it can be PDP, it can be Labour Party, it can be ADC, it can be just any party that you think of that you feel aligns with your ideology. Now, after registering, the next thing is to ensure that you attend meetings. Attending meetings also gives you the opportunity for you to meet people. You meet young, you meet old, you meet men, you meet women. Thereby, you get access to information, understanding of how the system works, and know how to engage. Then there is what they call community town halls. Community town halls is for people irrespective of party. All of you come together as a community. So you have conversation about what is the pressing need of your community, how you solve problems, how you bring you create solutions, to any challenge. I
think that is also one way. So for area councils that don't organize community town halls, well. So young people or residents can actually demand for that.
Yes, you can actually demand for that. Yes, you can actually demand for that. That's why you need to speak with people and you need to have a better understanding of your context. Who is key in your community? So that you get to speak to them and then they can be able to, respond to you and then, come up with those things. And also leverage technology. As a young person, if there is a particular thing maybe in your community that is going on that you are not comfortable with, you can easily spotlight. That's why technology is there. Maybe some people are not even aware. We have WhatsApp, we have Facebook. There are some things that happen in my village. I'm not there, and I'll see it on WhatsApp. Okay. I'll see it on Facebook.
So this brings me to my.
So leveraging technology is very, very.
It brings me to my final and closing question to say, what is your definition or picture of a functional local government?
All right. A functional local government is a local government for me that is inclusive. Inclusive in that the vulnerable groups, men and women, youth, and persons with disability are part of the system. That's a functional local government for me. And also, a functional local government for me is a local government that has leaders that are democratically elected and not imposed. Why? Because when you are imposed on the people, what happens is that you do the bidding of your masters and then you end up not serving the people.
There's an accountability issue.
Transparency, accountability, and even working with the people will now become an issue. So a functional local government for me is one that is inclusive, that have all those vulnerable groups captured, women, persons with disability, and youth, and also democratically elected officials. From the chairperson down to the councillors and all other officials that form the legislative and the executive side of things. And finally, a functional local government is a government that is proactive and responsive to the needs of the people, as the Constitution has earmarked. Things about primary education should be key for any local government. You shouldn't be passing a local government and you're saying primary schools are dilapidated and then nobody is saying anything. There is actually funding for it. If there's no funding, that is why as a local government chairman, you can actually organize yourself and be able to, work with individuals. I want to give you an instance of a local government in Anambra State. In one of our programs, we invited that young man to be part of that. I will not mention the person. The person calls himself the mayor of that local government. He doesn't call himself the local government chair. Yeah, he called himself the mayor. And it's interesting to know that somebody like that is calling himself mayor. It means that the person understands governance to a reasonable extent. And then there's something he did one time. He went to a part of the local government and decided to convert a building that was abandoned to an ICT center. A building that is abandoned. So it tells you that people are thinking. So any local government that is functional should be local government that is invested in the development of the infrastructure of that local government. One of the things they also did was they did a leadership and business summit where young people are brought together, showcase your talent so that you can even get support and funding to start a business.
Quite impressive.
So you can see that some local governments are actually trying and they are coming on board. So a functional local government are those that carry those metrics for me. And I'm looking forward to seeing local government be more proactive than reactive in terms of security, in terms of employment, and in terms of inclusion of young people in the
cross-cutting in addition to their functions according to the fourth schedule.
Yes.
I mean, they say everything rises and falls with, or is it on leadership on leadership? Thank you so much, Godiya, for joining us. We are really very grateful. I mean, you're almost convincing me to maybe pick up a political party form right now. I'll think about that. I want to thank you for joining us. This is the end of this episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode. And we encourage you to put whatever lessons you have gotten from today's episode to work so that we can have better communities. I mean, you can see my shirt. I'm proudly representing that. Do follow us on social media platforms using the handles displayed on the screen to be up to date with the Localizing Autonomy in FCT Area Councils project and other activities of Statecraft Foundation. You can also check out other episodes of the podcast on our YouTube channel. Bye for now.